Kostiantynivka, about 30 kilometres west of Bakhmut, so it is quite close to an area of intense fighting. But this horrendous attack, people were clearly going about their daily lives just before the strike. This Russian attack was captured on CCTV, which we've just seen, but it's particularly graphic, which is why we've had to blur out some of the images on there. And the fireball that followed was pretty intensive. What was interesting as well, the sound just before the strike implies that was not a drone, that was some form of missile just by the speed of impact. As you say, 16 people killed. We understand now the casualty as we came on air is now up to 34. And President Zelensky, you look at some of the carnage that's on the ground, the casualty figures are very likely to rise. President Zelensky's described it as a heinous evil and brazen wickedness. Whatever the military value of a target, it's difficult to see one here. Whatever Russia was aiming at, it resulted in some pretty significant civilian casualties. It's also comes after last night, Kyiv was under drone attack as well last night. Ukraine claim they've shot them all down, all the drones down, but also Ishmael, if you remember one of the ports there was one person was killed. It's been a particularly deadly 24 hours for Ukraine.
Yeah, sickening sight in that market. And all this as the American Secretary of State is in the capital, Kyiv.
Anthony Blinken arrived, yes, he arrived just after the wave of drone attacks. Ostensibly support for Ukraine. It is his fourth visit since the war started. He is staying overnight, it's a two-day visit. The agenda probably will include the counteroffensive and progress along the way. He's obviously seeing President Zelensky as part of this two-day visit. They'll also be talking about aid. We're expecting an aid package to be announced of about $200 million, but we're also expecting that to be more like 1 billion. The patron is the dog that you're seeing in the screen at the moment. That sniffs out explosives. Good a photo opportunity, but it also shows what a great job some of these animals do. Although they'll be focused on the Ukrainian need, it's also interesting. There's an American perspective here. So some of these images play to a US domestic audience because not all the presidential candidates are as supportive of the war in Ukraine as President Biden is now. And also, a recent CNN poll suggested that over 50% of the American population doesn't support continued financial support for Ukraine.